Tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them Silent Green is people! We gotta stop them.
Here we are. I haven't slept last night too much. I went to bed about 1:30. Woke up this morning around 5 to put this thing together. If I look a little disheveled, don't mind me. I shaved the mustache because I needed a fresh look to get the stink off me. I'm sorry we're here. I'm sorry that this team has failed again.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane.
And it's not just a game. It's the whole thing. I think we're clear on that now. But we've got to be clear. I am sorry that, again, our Dolphins are letting us down.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
But we have to continue to fight and continue to have hope. Maybe this next regime is going to do it for us. It's got to some point, you know. I don't know if I'm hearing from some people saying that Greer and McDaniel are going to be back. If that's the case, Dolphin fans need to revolt. You cannot accept that. That's the only unacceptable outcome, that Chris Greer returns. And if the GM that we find wants to keep McDaniel, whatever. But if we try to move along to get along, do what we usually do, hopium pimp the fan base out through the Dolphins media department to say, it's all going to be good, one draft, then we've got to really revolt. So I'm going to get into last night's debacle. It's pathetic, but predictable. And I've been saying a lot of evaluations for a while. And some people don't get why I say the things and do the things I do.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. But that's not important right now.
Because for me, credibility, so you know that I will always be honest, even to the detriment of myself, even if I'm wrong, but I won't sell out. I'm not a Pied Piper. And the reason I've been saying the things the way I've been doing it for a couple of years now is because the general voice was in another direction.
Are you not entertained?
And if this key piece was drowned out, then there's a lot of fans out there that would get led astray. There was no way to stop the hopium push. And in a lot of ways, it's understandable. I saw possibilities, even though the general concrete philosophies of football were being challenged. But we've got to be clear. I've been saying things, and I'm not always right, but these are basic football stuff that somehow the last couple of years, fans have been told that, oh, that's not real. In the NFL, the offensive line makes the world go round. This is concrete fact. I said going into this game, Chris Greer was going to be on center stage. People wanted to talk about Tua and McDaniel. I had some person say, well, this game's going to be a bigger evaluation for your credibility as an offensive line evaluator than it is Chris Greer. They deleted their tweet and unsubbed. I guess you can dish it out, but you can't take it. The reason is because Chris Greer is the Teflon man, and he's the heart. Maybe you could say Ross, but you can't get rid of Ross. I'm hoping it's not him. But Chris Greer is at the heart of all this for many, many years.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Without him being moved on, you will be led in circles like a dog chasing his tail. And so I had to put that out there so I can go back and say, look what I said. So next time down the road, if I tell you good stuff, at least I'm being honest. and I have a track record. So I want you to understand why I do this. I don't take this as an entertainment service, although I'm trying to add the clips in to be funny.
Here's Johnny.
I'm trying to, have some personality on this thing. But my main goal is to give good information so my awesome Dolphin fans won't be led astray like I had been for so long. To me, I'd rather know it sucks than be led to think it's going to be awesome and have the letdown. I did my live last night, which I'm sorry, the audio sucked. I think I had the game running in the background, and I guess the internet was split apart, and so everything sucked, so I apologize. But I made an analogy. It's like when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend cheating on you, and you're wondering, well, is it? No, no, it's good. That's the worst thing. It almost feels better when you know they're cheating on you. Because like, oh, okay, and you dump them, maybe you'll cry or whatever, you'll get upset, but you're in the understanding of what's really going on. And this hopium pimp push, while it's entertaining, it's not accurate, and it leads people astray. And I don't want to do that here. I do want to offer hope. I talk about it, but I say, hey, look, the core of this team is it was built with a very bad philosophy. It said, screw the offensive line. Let's take all our picks, bundle them up, and get one play here or there. A lot of flash, a lot of smoke and mirrors. But underneath, it didn't have enough character. It didn't have enough moxie. It didn't have enough strength and brutality and physicality. It was soft. I talk about a lot of different things. And some people, they want to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. But football always comes down to the phone booth. Last night, the drive, that last drive in the goal, in the red zone, Achane gets the ball, gets down to the 1, he gets stopped. Pound that thing in and get on your game. But we ran outside, got stopped, and then we did a screen to Jono, got stopped, and then a sack. The phone booth, it always comes down to red zone and third and fourth and 1. Remember the 3rd and 1? We got blown up. What did I say? Brewer could be a quality center with 2 awesome guards, but he struggles versus power. He was driven 3 yards into the back behind the line of scrimmage, and then the defender behind him shot in and stopped it. We're soft. Eichenberg's soft. Jackson's soft. Brewer, he's not soft, but he's just not strong. Tehran is beat up. Thank God we got rid of Cotton. Wynn, people want to talk about Wynn. Well, he has no drive ability. He won't help in the phone booth. But we should have gotten rid of Eichenberg, benched him, and put Wynn there, or put Wynn in left guard and Jones at right guard. We don't, because there's other agendas besides winning. Idiocy at the top. So that was my whole thing. There'll be no live tonight. I don't want to be embarrassed like I was last night. I think I know what the problem was. I was so tired. I had so much food. I wasn't thinking. I apologize. So I'm going to resolve that out, and then next Friday I'll come back with the live. Tomorrow on Mafia Sports Report channel, I'll be doing AFC East Shakedown. We all talk about our teams. So come check me out there. Please like, subscribe, comment, views, all that stuff keeps me in the biz. I love to do this thing. And honestly, somebody in the live last night said something so potent. He's like, I weirdly feel like happy or relieved, he said. I said, oh, you know what? I feel that too. Because now I know, like I said with the girlfriend thing, but for me to be telling you, oh, the O-line's no good, Greer is no good, this is no good, and people, the vast majority telling you you're an idiot, it was stressful. I was depressed for a while. I love to do this thing. But to be the voice crying out in the wilderness to deliver a quality message when I know what's being said is not true, it was stressful, and I feel relieved. I don't know if Ross will do the right thing. I don't know, whatever, but everyone knows now. I had so many people, oh, well, why don't you do it? You don't know what you're talking about. Look at he said. Well, let's see what he said now after what they've said over the last couple of years. People got down on me for a couple of years, but now it's all there. And I do feel relieved. I hate it. I feel sad told a story too. My son walked in here, and he loves football, and he said, "Dad, who you rooting for?" I'm like, "Dolphins." And he looked at the score, it was 14-0. He's like, "I'm going for Packers," and just walked out. And he'll watch any other team but the Dolphins. I'm tired of it. So the game, it's very simple. What did I say all last year? Nobody else was saying this, but they're starting to say it now. And during the game, the announcers were saying, what did I say? They rush 4, they play high leverage in the box with the linebackers and drop 7. That's the formula. The last 3 weeks, we've gotten points off, and people have said, well, we figured out how to break the cover 2, cover 3, cover 2, the over coverage. I said, maybe, but I don't think so because it's matchups. And what happened? You got it off at the end, but Green Bay is not a great team. They were down Alexander, Alexander, the best corner they got. They're not a good team. I mean, they're not a great team. They're a pretty good team. They're at home, that helped them. But they're physical. They're multifaceted. They got a big menu on offense. And they play ultra physical. Speaking of physical, Brooks called us soft. I heard Elliott doesn't know what he's talking about. But I said, Poyer said it. Ramsey said it. We all kind of see it. Now Brooks is saying it. And you look at the missed tackles, 23 missed tackles. I don't know, these are the numbers last night. They haven't fully come out. To 5. We had 23. They had 5. You know, Washington, you want to blame him. That wasn't good. But look at when he played the Bills. They threw Allen threw the pass to Coleman. He went in the air. Ramsey caught it. And they bounced back. We can't bounce back. That didn't cost us the game. The whole philosophy that we've designed this team on, which is flawed, we're the oldest team in the NFL with all those picks. How do you justify that? But they will. Not Chris Greer. Tua, 37 of 46. 365, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. The 1 touchdown bounced off the hands. You could say maybe he got it, maybe he didn't. All right, whatever. You can't blame him. He had 2 bad passes at the end of the first half, but OBJ's making all that money. He's supposed to be missed a catch. He had one like this. How could he not adjust? Just throw your body out and get that football. That's what you're paid to do. He didn't cause us to lose. Marino, same thing. In the snow, throw the football all day, and they shut you down. What did I say? Remember Kelly, remember Marino. That's what this thing was. Love didn't have a great day. He opened up with a very easy touchdown that he missed right off the bat. He had some nice plays, but he was balanced. 2.8 yards per carry for us. 4.6 for them. Achane, great player. Awesome stud player. You give him a real offensive line, and this guy is going to be a monster. But 7 for 14 on the ground. 8 for 56 in the air. Stud, touchdown. Raheem, 5 for 19. Chris Brooks, I think, had like 23 or 24 yards. Remember Chris Brooks? On their team with blocking, he actually had as many yards on the ground practically as both our backs. Why? He's better? No. He's a better offensive line. We were sloppy, disciplined, 10 for 75 penalties. Some people want to complain, say the ref this or that. There's always excuses. I mean, some of them, yeah. Would you see that pass interference that wasn't called at the end of the game? Should have been like 37. They had 7 for 44. They were sloppy too. I'm sure there was penalties on them that weren't called. These refs suck. We know that. Can't blame them. But you got Cam in there. Cam Smith is terrible. That 2nd round pick. Kohu gets injured. Fuller, he's out. Where's Holland? Dotson, he was a terrible game. I thought it was a good addition. I was wrong on that. He had a good game last week. Terrible game this week. So Tua, you want to blame him. Here's some real stats. Information, not stats, information, analytics. People laugh. True, why are you always talking true pass set?
Why so serious?
Because that means that you can block with 5 guys or 5.5, and you're putting guys in routes, and you're an aggressive offense. We had 17 true pass sets, and out of that, 7 were pressures. Almost 50%. No bueno. That's no good. Their pass sets, they only had 9, but only 3 were pressures, 30%, 33%. Tua, 46 dropbacks. He was blitzed only 4 times. So out of 46 dropbacks, 42 was 5 of our guys versus 4 of their guys. And he still had 28% pressure, 5 sacks. They blitzed him 10%. You know how many times Love was blitzed? 45. That's why he didn't have the true pass sets. 45%. We've never seen 45% blitz rate. 18 pressures for Tua, 10 for Love, 5 sacks for Tua, 0 for Love. Again, 28% pressure for Tua, like 28% for Love. Offensive line's terrible. What did I say? You got to... Oh, guys, teacup football, smash mouth, that's not what you want. I said 3 years ago, the league was moving to pass balance. You have to have control of the A and B gap. There's people who are telling me no, didn't even catch that, and now you can see it. You have to have 4-point tension, or else you have a limited menu and the team stack on the areas that you're good at and leave the one you ain't open. That's what they do. I said that. You know what you're talking about. This is not rocket science. That's the sad part. This is like basic. This is basic. If you can't run inside, you don't bring the leverage up of the linebackers. They sit at 5 all day, and at 5 yards, you got a free path to the edges. So you like to run to the edges, you like to throw the football, and you can't run inside. Okay, we rush 4, we'll get our pressure, just like they did here. The other teams weren't as good. That's what the deal is. It's football's a game of matchups. You drop your linebackers at 5 yards leverage so you can take the edges and you can drop. And you play 7 over the top. It's basic. Hill, 6 for 83. John, who had 100. Waddle for 4. You could see we could pass the football, but this was a gutted secondary. We're supposed to be competing for a Super Bowl or conference championship. They're not really there yet. They're still a younger kind of team, injured. But what did I say? Some people, I was trying to tell them, they have really 2 good safeties. So that means they could play their cover 2, they could play their high leverage, and they got those guys at the top, and that goes a long way. The Bills were different. They had better corners with Alexander out, but they had terrible safeties, and we could take advantage of that. And they weren't able to stop the run the same way. These is a bigger front, and the linebackers are better. Huge difference. So this whole thing has been built on finesse. But the designer, 2nd round on Rosen, 3rd round on Dieter, 2 fourths on Kindley, 2nd and 3rd on Eichenberg, 19th overall on Jackson. Could have had Zach Tom, you could have had Creed Humphreys. That starts. And then the tight end. I wanted Kraft. I wanted tight ends. Why? It opens things up. We finally figured it out after all these years. The D interior. You could see, look, they didn't have a great day in the interior, but that pulls everybody in. Remember the jet streak reverse? Everyone was focused inside. He was already like 2 yards past the edge guy, and the edge guy was looking inside. This is the 4-point tension. We don't have it. Nobody in the front is good enough. Jones is a good inside drive blocker. Pretty good. But he's got a lot of other flaws. But when you pair him next to Tehran, who's hurt, who had a pretty good game despite, there's not many people who could perform like that with those kind of injuries. Brewer can't drive anybody. Eichenberg can't drive anybody. And Lamb can't drive anybody. So he gets isolated and you don't get the dividends. Delay a game. 4th and 4. Lucky we got the penalty right back. Sloppy, but can you want to blame McDaniel? Okay, but he has no choice, just like Tua. Tua's got to throw fast or he's going to get killed. McDaniel's got to call finesse with all this motion, all this stuff, because he can't run power inside. But who set the table for everything? Well, you gotta you hate Greer. No, I like to be accurate. Accuracy. After all I've said for all these years, maybe you just don't like truth or accuracy. Maybe you want the hopium.
You can't handle the truth.
Maybe you can't admit you were wrong. I admit when I'm wrong, do it all the time. It's not that wrong that much because I don't say just random stuff. I let the evaluation play out. I'm conservative. Now it's going to be very interesting. What does Ross do? What does the content? There's a lot of good content. Don't get me wrong. Dougly Do Wrong, Phins.talk.com. Those guys have been saying some good stuff. There's other people out there. I haven't caught everybody. I'm not the only one. I'm just the earliest. I'm not the only one. I'm just the earliest. But I do it because I want my Fin fans protected. Protect the shield. Protect the fan base. Protect your integrity.
You shall not pass!
It's all fun and games when the hope was there, but when it get washed away and you wake up, after a night of drinking and the keys are in your butt, as Robin Williams said, and the car's in your living room, all of a sudden the regret sets in. Well, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Maybe I should have thought differently. Here we are. This thing's got to be scrapped down to formula and rebuilt with somebody else. You got to pray that Ross loves this team enough to do the right thing. And it can't be, I'm going to take Greer and put him in another position inside the organization, hide him in the background, he'll still have influence, and then take somebody else and promote them. Same thing. It won't go anywhere. There's issues all the way through the staff, everything. Because whoever he promotes is going to be beholden to Greer, and he's going to have to listen to Ross, and then Ross is still going to have the influence. Ross, I think, really wants to win. I think he loves this team. But he needs somebody to say, no, I'm running the show. You put me here. Trust me. I'm doing it my way. This is a tried and true formula. I'll take your advice, but don't interfere. Integrity. Character, strength, leadership. I don't think McDaniel's a bad guy, but there's a softness in there that just does not translate to the game of football from a head coaching position. So I'm going to get some film out to you. It'll be a very interesting no BS film study. It's clear. Be clear. Help this team. If you don't follow the truth, whatever that is, maybe it's not me, but figure it out, then the media department is going to manipulate the fan base and they're going to massage things so Ross and the media department and the Dolphins organization do whatever the hell they want and give you another product that is substandard, but make you believe and give the money in the belief that it is something good when it's not. So, like I said, I'll get back to you soon. Appreciate all you guys do. I hope you understand what I've tried to do over these last couple of years a little bit better. I want to inform. I believe in journalistic integrity. I believe that this is not, there's too much heart and money that goes into it from you to just kind of lead you along to get clicks and make you feel good and leave you with the sugar high. Maybe I'm crazy, but I do care. My dog cares too. Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out. Online sportsbook today by getting signed up with AceBread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.